Hi, I'm Lisa Garr, and I'm joined by John Gray, author of the #1 relationship book of all time, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. John, there are twice as many single people today than there were how many years ago?
30 years ago.
30 years ago. Why do you think that is?
A few reasons, not that many. It's basically, if your parents were divorced, it's high risk to get married.
Because?
Because imagine you're with a camp guidance. You're climbing a mountain and you've got to jump over this little dangerous spot.
Ravine.
And so you drop down, you're going to die. And he says, now half the people make it, so go ahead and try.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it.
Well, of course, and you have, maybe it's a bad experience, you're bounced between parents, it doesn't work out, you don't see a model of a good relationship.
That's right, we don't have the model of the good relationship. Right. We see so much divorce. So that's one level of it. The second level of it is hormones. Okay, when women have higher levels of estrogen, the need to partner is greater.
Oh.
Women today have lower levels of estrogen. Their testosterone levels, by being independent, having careers, they don't feel that need for someone to be there for them. And they're not feeling that need to make little babies. And all of that is happening less because their hormones are different. Now, I would say, not that everybody needs to be in a relationship, but I'd say their hormones are out of balance. And why do I say it's out of balance? Is because I see the symptoms of depression and anxiety and high rates of antidepressants, which are off the chart. Maybe 1 out of 4 women on antidepressants, people taking sleeping medications. In Brazil, almost every single woman has to take sleeping medications to sleep. The amount of stress in our lives is massive. And what happens in stress is that women's female hormones are going down and their male hormones are being produced all day long. Testosterone is like the warrior. You're having to fight your way through the day, suppressing the emotional side of you. So this is called role reversal. I talk about in my book, Beyond Mars and Venus. So basically, when women are not on their female side, they don't have the motivation to create a relationship, and they don't have the experience of actually needing a man.
What about hanging out with other women? What about the village? What's wrong with that?
Exactly. Well, that's part of the whole thing, which is you're hanging out with other women. You don't see, men are trouble. And to man, women are trouble. But we have these hormones that make it an imperative to do what you have to do. I mean, I have to do what it takes to have a woman in my life. You know, I get up in the morning, I make money. Now men don't even have that motivation. It used to be, I remember as a kid just feeling that pressure. I'm going to have to work and make money, and then I can have a woman love me and have sex. And, you know, otherwise I'm not going to get that, you know.
Provide for a family, yes.
Provide for a family. These are these pressures that men don't have those pressures anymore. They're soft. They're playing video games. They don't have those same motivations. And women, that's a motivating factor. So you see ADHD, which is a motivation problem. That is happening in men more and more, 5 times more men, or twice as many men, we'll put it that way. And for women, they don't feel the need for a relationship. See, it's like when you're hungry, you'll eat. If you're not hungry, you can go without eating. What's the big deal? So
that's why there's more single people.
That's why there's more single people. So that's another reason. That's a hormonal, biological thing. And this is younger people than you. And also, I'll say something really good about single people, which is waiting longer to get married, I think is a great idea. And that's what's happening more and more, is that the more evolved a species is, the longer they take to mature. And I think the younger generation is way more evolved than the previous generations. And so they're taking longer to mature. So it used to be 21, you're ready to go out. Now it takes longer. Generally 28 is the big time when the brain actually develops this part of the brain. So there's a maturity process that is taking longer.
Which makes perfect sense. No judgment. Not that it's bad
no judgment
or
at all.
But this is what it is.
But there is this whole phenomena of people as they get older, then the rate of divorce is like much higher on your second marriage and your third marriage. Okay, it's like 60%, 70%, 80%. I mean, it's off the chart.
That's right. That's right. It is higher. It is.
And that's because we don't have relationship skills. Mm-hmm. And so what I do in my books is, and when people see, I describe how they misunderstand each other. Not how they're wrong or bad, but how they misunderstand each other. Then you go, oh my God, I've been doing it wrong all this time. When you get that you're doing it wrong all this time, then you have hope that I can do it right. See, it's the hope.
You want to do it right, yes.
First you have to feel the need, which we talked about, women being on their vulnerable side to feel that need, and men being motivated on their masculine side. Motivation is confidence, I can do. But if I try, my old skills, the old skills don't work anymore. The world is a different place. What the skills I teach in Beyond Mars and Venus are the skills that men, you got to get. Women need help to get back to their female side. Women, they've got to realize they need help of a man to help them come back to their female side. Now, they can also do that in a gay relationship as well, but right now I'm talking about heterosexual, in that you use your partner to bring you back to your femininity, to stimulate those female hormones. And that's all new skills. That's nothing in the past was about doing that. Men were men, women were women. Now, men, you got to help her come back. That means better communication. That means more listening. That means more affection. That needs better sex skills. She needs to have better communication skills. Otherwise, she'll just put him off. She needs to be more open, more vulnerable. These are new insights and skills that we're not taught. They're not instinctive, but we're out of balance. Women are feeling overwhelmed and stressed, independent. Why would I need a man? And I see now women in their 40s and 50s saying, you know, I go on a lot of dating sites. I see men. They're good, they have all the qualifications, I just can't fall in love. I said, yeah, you need to have twice as much estrogen to fall in love, and you're too dry. And basically, she's too on her male side. She's got to get back to her female side.
And then the men are too much on their Venus side.
That's right. You can't be aroused and turned on by a guy who's too soft. He's got to have hard, drive, focus, point. You know, this is biology, this is psychology, this is what we're missing today. It's just so mixed up, and simple clarity can help us do things to come back to masculinity for men, bump up that testosterone naturally, not taking testosterone, making testosterone. For women, coming back to female hormones, not taking hormones, making hormones. And most people have no idea, they've never heard of it, that your behavioral skills, how you communicate, how you relate, can actually re-stimulate the right balance of hormones in your body.
Interestingly, some friends of mine that are either newly out of a relationship say that all of those good men are taken. How am I going to marry again or be with another relationship? Because they're already committed. And I've heard several of my friends say this that are newly single. And so they don't ever want to get married again.
What's always the case, all the good ones are gone.
You've heard this before, yes.
I hear it a lot. I also hear it framed in a phrase, which is, where are the conscious men? You know, where are the good men and whatever. And I think that's the most sexist thing you could say. I laugh at when I hear that, because where are the conscious women who know how to bring out the best in men?
Oh,
if you're divorced, you didn't know how to bring out the best in a man. You've got to look at yourself. Once you look at yourself and you find your hormonal balance inside yourself, men start looking really, really good. And if you have the knowledge of how to make them look better without trying to change them, and that's an art, how to draw out. Women's love is a magnetic power that can pull out the best in a man. I mean, think about it, women. You know your power in the bedroom. You look a certain way, you turn them on. You bring forth that male energy in a man.
Your next book is The Conscious Neanderthal.
I'll do Conscious Neanderthal, woman and man.
Yes, exactly.
It's not just men, it's women too. We all have to learn how to adjust to this new life that we're living. Then suddenly men look really good, and women start looking really good too. So many men, they're not interested in getting married again. They're just like burnt because what they did didn't work.
Right.
And for women, it's where they're coming from. They're not feeling the hunger for masculinity, and they don't know how to bring it out of men, so they become men themselves because they can't depend on a man, they can't trust a man, and that's because they don't know how to be vulnerable and bring out the best in a man.
Truth. Preach, John. Thank you so much. If you would like to watch more great tips, you can go to the website, marsvenus.com.